Hey there everyone, today we are heading into the world of anime to give you the list of top 10 isekai anime which you definitely should not miss. Number 10, The Eighth Son. Are you kidding me? Aikinomiya Shingo was a young single salaryman when he fell asleep one night at his dinner table. When he awakens, he's at a different dinner table during a wedding ceremony and in the body of a 5-year-old boy, whom he later learns is Wendelin von Benno Baumeister. Although he initially has the impression that he's part of a well-off noble family, he soon discovers that it was all for show. His family is actually poor and illiterate, and lives in a thinly populated area on the outskirts of civilization. Further, he's the youngest of 8 sons, which doesn't bode well for his prospects. However, he also discovers that he can read the local writing, which leads to him discovering that he has a rare aptitude for wind magic. When he encounters Alfred Reinfurt, a former court wizard who also specializes in wind magic, his prospects start looking up. Number 9, I Am Standing on a Million Lives. Yusuke Yatsuya has always disliked Tokyo, but he especially hates the people who live in it. He would rather thrive in a virtual world than try to get along with those around him. At the end of one school day, he sees the popular athlete Ayu Shindo talking to Kusu Hakozuki, who spends less time in school due to illness, but when he looks away from the two and back again they have seemingly disappeared. Mere moments later, Yatsuya enters a state of free fall, and the world begins to change around him. Dropping into a large pool of water, the first thing he sees when he comes to his senses is an assortment of enormous monsters. He soon finds out that he has been brought into a game world by Shindo and Hakozuki and that he must complete a quest within 14 days. There is one thing that separates this world from the real world. Anyone who dies will be brought back to life in 30 seconds as long as one party member is alive. Tasked with numerous quests that increase in difficulty over time, Yatsuya, Shindo, and Hakozuki attempt to discover the mystery behind the perplexing game world. Number 8, Endride. Shun Asanaga is a 15-year-old junior high school student with an optimistic and bright personality. One day, he finds a mysterious crystal in the office of his father who is a scientist and businessman. When Shun touches it, the world becomes distorted, and he is sent into the world of Endra. Emilio, a prince of the kingdom of Endra, is nearing his 16th birthday and despises the reigning king, Delzane. Since Emilio is now at the age when he can inherit the throne, he takes up a weapon and attempts revenge. However, because Emilio is too weak, he is captured by Delzane and put in prison. When Emilio is in grief, the wall of his cell becomes distorted and Shun appears from there with 2 goals: return to his own world, and complete Emilio's revenge. What future lies ahead for the 2 boys trying to survive in Endra, yet raised in 2 different worlds? Number 7, The Master of Ragnarok. For Yuto, what began as a selfie with a mystical shrine mirror ended with his sudden transportation from the modern world to a war-torn one called Yggdrasil. Here, it's survival of the fittest, with the different clans constantly battling and vying for power, land, and resources. Luckily for Yuto, he has a different sort of power at his fingertips: his smartphone, which somehow still has access to the internet. Thanks to his ability to research and implement all sorts of tactics and technologies, in just over 2 years, he now sits as the patriarch of the Wolf clan. Not only does he command thousands of troops, but he also has an entourage of beautiful, strong, and important women that continues to grow in size as time goes by. More than anything, though, Yuto just wants to return home. Number 6, Didn't I Said to Make My Abilities Average in Next Life. Having stood out from others most of her life due to her exceptional character, Misato Kurihara has lived without neither the joy of having close friends nor the experience of having a regular life. However, after a sudden death, she was transported to a divine realm to be reincarnated, and granted one wish to top it off. Thinking about the ordinary life that she had always wanted, she wished to be born as a normal person, with abilities that are average for the world she will resurrect in. Reborn as Adele von Asham, the daughter of a noble, she possesses magic powers completely exceeding what one would label average. Still desiring to carry out the life she wanted, she leaves her home and enrolls at a hunter school in a faraway kingdom using Mile as an alias. However, try as she might to hide her overpowering potential, attaining her goal will be difficult, especially when facing against the crazy situations that ensue. 5. Mao Sama Retry. Akira Uno is an ordinary working adult who manages the MMORPG Infinity game. 15 years after creating the game, Uno decides to shut the servers down once and for all. However, as the clock strikes midnight, he somehow finds himself in the body of middle-aged Hakuto Kanai, Infinity Game's demon lord. Soon after his mysterious transportation, he witnesses the demon Griol chasing after a little girl named Aku. Although he effortlessly dispatches the creature, Hakuto is still concerned. After all, he does not remember creating the girl or the demon. Doubting whether he truly is in the world of his creation, Hakuto decides to investigate, bringing Aku along as his guide and companion. Hakuto sets out on a journey to find out exactly who or what summoned him to this fantasy world, all while leaving chaos and destruction in his wake. Number 4, Last Exile. In the world of Prester, flight is the dominant mode of transportation, made possible by Claudia Fluid, a liquidized form of the crystals that are produced on the planet. An organization known solely as He Guild has absolute authority over the skies, with a monopoly on the engines that make use of this fluid. Moreover, as ecological disasters destabilize the warring countries of Anatore and Dissa, the Guild also arbitrates in the disputes between the two. Caught in the middle of the conflict are sky couriers, piloting small, Two-person vanships that fly freely through the sky. Last Exile follows the adventures of two teenagers who dream of surpassing their parents. Klaus Valka, son of a famous vanship pilot, and Levi Head, Klaus's best friend and navigator. Their job as couriers entails passing through an air current called the Grand Stream that separates the hostile nations, which even standard airships struggle to survive. However, when they take on a high-rated delivery to bring an orphan girl named Alvis Hamilton to the battleship Sylvana, they get dragged into a much greater conflict that pits them against the might of the Guild. Number 3. Blade and Soul. In a fantasy setting where the Param Empire is the predominant power player, Alka is an independent assassin from the Clan of the Sword, a village renowned for producing efficient, skilled killers whose throat-slashing specialty make them terrors in stealth missions or straight-up fights. Alka learned her lessons on constraining her emotions a little too well, though, for she approaches everything dispassionately. Even seeking vengeance for a master slain by agents of Param does not get a rise from her. But those potent agents who killed her master are also seeking her, for she bears a butterfly-shaped tattoo that somehow allows her to resist the power of impurity, the dark energy that they can channel. Ultimately, Alka and Jin Varl, the ice-cold leader of the impurity-empowered agents, are on a collision course, but along the way Alka must also deal with a bounty hunter who has Alka in her sights, the softly ruthless proprietress of a prominent inn, the leader of a bandit gang, and the fact that ordinary people who associate with her for even a short while have a bad habit of winding up dead, and when the stoicism of someone who has repressed her emotions for so long starts to crack, the results are messy indeed. Number 2. Angel Beast. Death is one of many mysteries that has left humanity in the dark since the dawn of time. However, the burning question of what happens to the soul after one dies is soon answered to 17-year-old Yuzuru Otonashi. Waking up with no previous memories in a dimension between life and death, he discovers the unsettling truth of the afterlife, taking the form of a high school. This bizarre dimension is designated to shelter those who died unwanted deaths, feeling wronged by God during their earthly lives. The school's residents have decided to form the Afterlife Battlefront, a rebellious faction determined to oppose their godlike student council president, Kanade Angel Tachibana. The group's leader, Yuri Nakamura, recruits Otonashi in their fight against Angel in order to take control of their own lives. However, questioning the morality behind their actions, Otonashi takes a step behind the enemy lines to understand the opposing side of their common fate. Number 1. Tales of Xerosteria the X. The celestial records speak of the existence of the Seraphim, a race of divine beings who give blessings to humanity and are offered prayers by them in return. Those who are anointed with the ability to interact with these spirits are known as shepherds, hailed as heroes for their prompt appearances in times of crisis, while also being feared for their power. The shepherds are imprinted in common folklore along with the Seraphim. Sori is a young human who has spent his entire life living in harmony alongside the Seraphim in the village of Elysia. Fascinated by the myths of the celestial records, he explores some nearby ruins with Mikleo, his childhood Seraphim companion, hoping to enlighten himself about the Seraphim's history with mankind. Unfortunately, they become trapped in the depths of the historical site during their investigation. While searching for an exit, they come across a mysterious girl who desperately seeks the help of a shepherd to save the world, which is on the brink of being consumed by darkness. Despite Mikleo's warning about making contact with other humans, Sori decides to help the stranger, which unknowingly leads him closer to the dream of peaceful coexistence between man and Seraphim. So that's it for the list. If you found the video interesting, make sure to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.